Okay, so today we're going to learn about the clone stamp tool. We'll be opening up Photoshop as usual. So we'll open that up and I'm going to open up a new file. I'm going to make it US letter size, doesn't really matter. I'll say OK. And then I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to go to my Schoology page. You go to the Tech Apps page. And then I've got a picture of Brad Pitt. That's a good version to use. Make sure you click on it and open it up. It should be really big. And then you'll drag it onto your desktop. And then you'll see it. Then we're going to go and put it on our Photoshop. And I'm going to open up a new file. After I place it, I'm going to open up a new file and do the same thing so I can see the before and after. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to do this to show you. So right click, place. So I'm going to start off by zooming in. There's two ways to zoom in. One I taught you was Alt and then scroll, or Control and scroll in. Sorry, just kidding. Here, you have to make sure you rasterize it as well. Either the first time you click it, it'll ask you to do it, or you can right click on the layer and it'll do it. So I'm going to zoom in, Alt and scroll, or I can do Control and the plus sign, and that works as well. So we're going to select the clone stamp tool. It's going to be over here on the left side. Make sure that you have clone stamp and not pattern stamp selected. So clone stamp, it's going to start off at about size, I think it starts off about 30. And you must remember to do this. We're going to go into mode and click lighten, and then opacity at about 50. It doesn't have to be exact, but about 50. And for the clone stamp, I'm going to get rid of his wrinkles. So I'm going to scroll in a little. And if you just click with your mouse, it's going to ask you that it has an area hasn't been defined. So to define the area, you're going to need to hold down the Alt key and then click to grab the color. And you'll see that the color is right here that I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to click along his wrinkle a couple times with that color, and then I'm going to grab another selection, and then I'm going to click along the wrinkle. If you do too many at once, it'll start looking really fake. So make sure when you're working in the middle of his face, you're getting the color from the lighter areas so it doesn't look so fake. And as you see, I'm just clicking about 4 times, and then I'm getting a new color, and then I'm clicking a few times, and then I'm getting some more color. And again, when I grab the color, I hold down the Alt key and then click to grab it, and then I click on the wrinkle a few times, and then I grab some more color, and I'm just going to finish this. Starts looking better, and I'm going to show you in a minute the before and after. It makes a pretty big deal. This can also be used not only for wrinkles, but also for like blemishes or tattoo removal on a picture. It's pretty cool. Just takes a minute. It takes a little bit of patience, because if you start just really clicking and dragging, it'll start looking real fake, and you don't want to do that. All right, so if you see this here, and we look over here, back and forth. This is what we did. This is what it used to look like. So it looks very natural. One more thing I want to guys teach you is that whenever you want to brush over a larger area, like under his eyes, I'm going to zoom in more, a little bit less. And I'm going to make my clone stamp a little bit bigger. You can see how big. That's a little bit too big. Something that would go underneath his eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down the Alt key, grab the color from his cheek, and then I'm going to drag. I'm going to do it a couple times. And you see it kind of smooths out his wrinkles. And then I'm going to zoom out, and let me take a look. So this is before, and then this is after. Yeah, so it takes a little practice. The main thing is that you need to do is to change the mode to lighten and the opacity to 50, and then make sure before you start clicking on it to make him a different color. Like for instance, if you grab color from like his lip and then click on his cheek, it's going to turn his cheek kind of pink, which you don't want to do. And if you mess up, you can 2-step backward, or you could start over. So once you're finished with your Brad Pitt and you've cleaned him up, you'll turn it into Schoology. I'll show you where. Yeah, you'll turn it in. And then after you do Brad Pitt, you can do someone else. I saw a girl. The first one has to be Brad. And you'll find that on Schoology. Make sure you click in and get the big picture, not the nail size.